Hello, and we're going to continue the series of reviewing the Overwatch League playoffs, and today we're going to review the Fuel versus Dragons map on Dorado, like the famous, like it was a disaster for Fuel. It knocked them out into a lower bracket, and Fuel they nearly had the record set on them, like one of the top five times on Dorado, set on them by the Dragons. So definitely really scary experience for any Fuel fans out here, like when they were watching this. And eventually, as we know, Fuel lost in the losers bracket to Atlanta due to like a lot of the same like problems they showed in this match. But we need to see how this once dominant team, like really dominant, this team won 4-2 against like the Dragons in May. But right now they took a break in like the Countdown Cup. They did well against Chengdu, but they kind of got destroyed by the Dragons in the last map. So we need to see what happened here. Why did this once the team that beat the Dragons 4-2 and also beat the Dragons twice in the playoffs bracket during a tournament, why did they almost get the record set on them? So let's get the scoop. So on this map, Dragons are gonna run the Ball Tracer Sombra. And the thing is with this map is teams used to painstakingly just try to clear out the high ground, but the thing is you have such good respawns, and it's so risky to you could engage, you could have the team just try to engage here, but you have such good respawns that you don't really have to take a clean fight here. You can try to push the cart. If they try to contest cart, you can fling shit at whatever's on the cart, try to force them to drop it. Even if they kill one or two, well, you're gonna come back eventually, and that doesn't mean that you don't want to set up your DPS in and your main tank in good positions. Your off tank will usually be pushing card with your support on the card itself, just for peel. But you're just really trying to farm ultimates for the eventual choke fight, which is what matters, and B, just push the cart because the respawns are so favored towards the defenders, and the fact that even though this is high ground, this is yeah, it's high ground. Holding a choke is probably better. Being able to hold this choke and try to keep the enemy team. There's not a lot of good attacking options for the attacking team. Holding this choke is pretty good, and you don't want to lose that unnecessarily, especially when they have such good respawns. If they respawn a bit if the respawns were longer, then sure, maybe teams would hold during this first and second corner, but because the respawns are so short and the choke's really good to hold, and even though this is high ground, it's reasonably easy for the attackers to clear. The attackers could just send an Echo here, or any flying hero, or even a D.Va, and just try put poke pressure on the Winston. And eventually the Winston, unless he has something that he can hard engage on, which would mean the backline would usually be standing here instead of over here. Standing over here means that you don't want to engage here, but the fact that they're standing over here means that this Winston is just really looking to farm and stay alive. So over here we see Dragons. They're rolling out. They're kind of spreading apart. They want to send Fleta somewhere good for now, because eventually the cart's gonna push to over here, and Fleta wants to be somewhere where he can at least have access to Fields' backline, as well as have good access to the flank angles that Fleta will be looking to mark. And in this case, what Fleta and Lip want to do mainly is they want to try to put pressure on Sparkle and Fearless, mainly Doha if possible, but Sparkle and Fearless. And what they want to do is they want to try poke them out, force cooldowns, or force them to bad engage, into a bad engage by either forcing them into a really bad position, or just doing so much damage with the help of the Zen. The most important part is the Zen, that they have to engage, otherwise you're just gonna get just gonna die from all the all like the disruption that like the Ball, Tracer, Sombra, and Zen are providing. So as you can see, I would I would probably like to see like someone clear Sparkle first. And like you can do that because you know, if you clear Sparkle, like he's still like reasonably far away from the brig, and you can have Flutta and Fate if needed to harass Brig so that like Jaxay can't take this angle and help Sparkle maintain this like map control. So and like another option is that Field could look to just finish the engage here, but that's undesirable. So I would prefer but like you know having this Tracer on this angle means that like if dragons like lose one, then that's an easier cleanup for Fuel, and you don't really want that. It burns time off the clock. So I wouldn't want to see like dragons try to clear Sparkle like a bit more. But as you can see, they're trying to use their Fate to take space with like Zen. As you can see, they're trying to like clear this angle and just try to force like Fearless like that so that you can clear space for this card push. Remember, the strategy is not to get kills. Everyone's playing safe because they want to stay alive for the choke fight. But like the goal here is to really just like get as good enough a position as possible and make space to push the cart. Like if you clear like Winston here, then your backline can then look to push up and get access to their backline, which allows your Tracer and Ball to harass them even more, or like gives better access to Fearless, who can't really like stay as close to the backline anymore because like the backlines has really good sight lines and like you haven't taken control of the flanks because you have the enemy team with control of the flanks, and it's just gonna snowball unless like Fuel have like something that they can use. Then Dragons like their comp is just better. I think Ball Tracer Sombra is just better than like a Winston comp in this meta. Like regardless of like map, I'd say like even on Gibraltar, I'd say like this comp has a slight advantage. Oh, but as you can see, Flat is trying to put pressure on Sparkle. And like even though like Sparkle was retreating, they saw the opportunity and pounced on it. As you can see, there we go. Fleta has killed Sparkle, and that's a big pick. Because that means that like first of all they lose like a source of damage. So like now dragons can actually like go aggressive when they have to like normally like play passive. Because like they're gonna have, you know, extra damage from Tracer Sombra as compared to only like Echo. So there's that. Like the fact that they're running okay, so oh never mind. Anyways, so Fleta kills Sparkle, and now like Fuel have a really like big choice to make. Do they want to try to finish the fight? Do they want to like want to like go for the backline? Like maybe try to like rotate your backline into here while Fleta's still trying to set up and go for like the backline. And like that's like a one and done deal. Like if this doesn't succeed, then you know you've basically given up almost the entire first like checkpoint. Or do you want to reset and like go to choke? In which case you want to be saving your cooldowns. So what is Doa doing? They lose Sparkle. They have to decide. Oh, like if they want to like get out, then like Jaxay should be like over here and trying to just pre-pack Doha so he can clear his escape. Or like you can have Hanbin at least like provide a bit of DM. Well, no DM. So like they lose Doha, and now like it's either die on cart or reset. But in this case, like this comp's really good at just chasing the Saggers. Like it's a 6v4, but this comp, like the Ball Tracer and Sombra, can absolutely just there's no Lucio as well. Like they're running on a brig, and that's why Lucio has been increasingly preferred as like the main support in these Winston comps. It's one of the reasons, other than the fact that like Lucy, like being able to kite is already like a big advantage, and even though like without break you'd lose some peel and stuff, and like just being able to like close the distance against like these heavy types of spam is already really valuable. So like that's why Lucio has been like increasingly preferred. But anyways, we're gonna see like we're gonna see like a really standard dive from dragons. Like all dragons have to do right now is just have to like send players behind the fuel, and like afterwards you just push in with your backline aggressively if they try to, commit cooldowns to it. Well, they don't have any damage, so you're just going to counter dive and win. So like now dragons are just gonna, instead of like pressing W, they're gonna take the space first, and then they're gonna try to finish off like the fuel. So as you can see, Fleta is like positioning himself on a deep angle, and we're gonna see like some pressure from the front, while like hopefully like Li Jian on cart, but he knows that like he is probably not gonna need to peel because there's no damage in the first place. So we have Izayaki pushing up, and that's a standard dive that finishes the enemy. So we see like this pincer and basically fuel are dead because this comp has a mobility advantage, which is one of the great things about this comp. And like three of them managed to escape like Shanghai's pincer. I actually think Fate should have tried to. I don't think Fate should have power drive here. Like I think Fate should have focused on like getting position over here first before like looking for power drive, or even just like try to like roll through poke. That's fine as well because you have Zen, you have Tracer, you have like your primary fire, all as well. So, but like Fielder does not escape Dragon's pincer. And they're just gonna like push up and finish the fight. So we see a very like serious mistake from Sparkle and Doha snowball into a fight win for Dragons. And over here, they're just gonna take positions for the next fight. They're just gonna try to like control the flanks, so that like Sparkle can't get easy access to the backline. Now they're backing up because like they might have to take a fight on point, but so Sparkle gets a pulse bomb. Okay. Hanbin overextends. Hey, that's actually really bad. Now you have no D.Va for like the EMP. Like you can't like hide a D.Va somewhere, try to like peel. You don't at the very least you don't have like a body for like the backline to hide behind. So now no off tank. Feel like they either like wait for 6 or like they try to take a tempo engage over here, but they're gonna have to kite like pretty well because an EMP's coming, which will like restrict all of their like movement abilities. And Sparkle just feeds. Okay, what is Sparkle doing? Like when you're playing Tracer against like this comp, you really have to respect the enemy Tracer. Otherwise, you're just gonna have like a ball in your face, a Sombra on your face, and like a Zen Discord with your name on it. So Sparkle should not be standing here. Sparkle needs to be kiting closer to his team. Like, normally Tracer wants to be like positioning behind the enemy, but in this case, this comp's so good at restricting that like you're just gonna get punished like at a certain point. Unless like your monkey's in the backline, like putting pressure, allowing you to stage without like Discord and forcing like the enemy to peel back. Over here, we see like a minefield. And like they're just really trying to chase stagger kills against like fuel, but I don't really like this minefield. There's like hi King Star, how's it going? We're just reviewing like the like the playoff, like the Fuel versus Dragons match. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Um, so like I don't like this minefield because the thing with minefield is that like it's best used as a like I think this they're trying to chase staggers here, but they should be able to just peel this off. Honestly, there's no extra pressure, but like minefield is best used like during a fight and to like block like escape. So like, or as like a disruption tool to as a counter dive. So if field decides to int onto Dragon's backline, then you minefield onto their backline, and that will cut a lot of the teeth from like the engage. Oh, I did move it to YouTube because of a bigger audience here, but um, so like without any pressure coming from the front, then there's nowhere, like, they can just kite this. They can just, like, and, like, this isn't placed behind. Like, I would prefer Fate, like, try to even minefield deeper, like, over here. Like, this would be, like, really disruptive if he tried to minefield over here because, dragons are coming in. They have an EMP. They have, they can just literally just put, like, one on cart and since like you have like such a strong ult to use, like you just push in and you just push them into the minefield, or they kite into this closed room, in which case like regrouping is gonna be hard, and EMP is just gonna infect them really hard in that small room, or like EMP bomb is just devastating. So like, but these mines like just allow them to kite, like they aren't placed in the back; they're placed like too far forwards. So, like, over here, if you're just going to regroup, I would want to see Dragon start taking, like, positioning. Oh, how did Doha die? Oh, that hack from Lip was pretty good, really good. Like, he sees, like, Doha, like, playing an aggressive angle outside of Jexay's LOS, mind you, against a comp that has Discord and like, Ball, Tracer, and Sombra literally, like, looking for you. So, like, if you are not respecting this Ball, Tracer, Sombra comp enough, like, this comp, it's really, like, its main win condition. Just look for players who have fucked up or used their cooldowns unnecessarily, or, like, force those opportunities by using Zen Discord, and like you're just like being annoying on the flanks. That's good enough to force some cooldowns that you can like then look to just mercilessly push that cooldown advantage. You win with this comp. So like that's how you win with this comp. But like Feel are just playing into this. Like look, Doa's playing outside Jexay's LOS, outside Hanbin's like peel range. It's just stagger. And like now it's a 6v5. Feel like now they go for like the engage. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me see where Sparkle is. So, and Sparkle's like kind of ready to follow up. Like the reason you want like Doha is so like Doha could either like add more damage and try to burst down someone in the backline, or like at least force out the ball and like maybe Tracer outside out of like Feels' backline, which allows your backline to like then push up a bit more, and then like you can try to finish with like a rally or something. So like, losing the DPS here is so big. It means that like sure they still have like Sparkle, but Feel we're just gonna pop a defensive ult, and I mean Dragons are just gonna, we're just gonna pop trans if needed, and there we go. We don't care. Okay, so first of all, Izayaki. I think they could try to at least. Izayaki's like over here. Like Izayaki's just trying to like bait aggression, mainly. Like he's trying to like get Fearless to. They're splitting apart, which is actually good here because Izayaki is trans, and if Fearless goes for like Izayaki instead of like the Li Zhengan, then Li Zhengan can to give Brig packs if there's a Tracer ready in one clip. Well, like you already know, like this is actually it's really intelligent play from Dragon. So, like, I look at this. This is genius. So, like, this is like the gist. So, like, Izayaki knows that Fleda's here, and when you know that Fleda's here, what's the chance of Sparkle being here? Zero. Unless Sparkle's like so good at hiding, like Sparkle like literally behind Fleda. like, the chance is almost zero. So Izayaki knows this flank is safe. And, Izayaki also knows that, like, if Sparkle decides to approach from this angle, then he's gonna receive poke damage from Void, and, since, Briggs, like, all the way back here, you know, like, he's not gonna be able to make it past here, so he knows Tracer's not gonna be a threat, so, like, he's gonna be like, hey, Fearless, come for me, come for me. If you, like, you come for me, then I'm just gonna get break packs from Li Jiangan, and you're not gonna do jack shit, because, well, you only have a nano. You only have nano monkey. You don't have like your source of damage. Your source of damage is dead. Like Doha's dead. So, but like if you come for Li Jiangan and Void, well, like I'm just gonna put Discord. I'm just going to poke you out so hard, and I could even like maybe do some shenanigans where I try to rotate up here and just like have Fate and Flood and Lip try to punish us or like counter dive. So this also puts him in a good position to maybe do that rotation. But mainly, it just forces Fate's feel into making either way a bad decision, and he can only do it because he knows Flood is marking this flank. So really smart play from Dragon, like Izayaki here. And Li Jiangan actually dies here. Like that's not the consequences of this play. It's really that like you can't trans for Li Jiangan. They're probably expecting like what he's probably doing here is he's probably expecting that even if his backline dies, then the pressure that like the fact that they're in such forward positions means that Lip can just counter EMP and Izayaki will be in a good position to just punish and trade that kill. So all is good in the end. You can see. Eventually, I think they're gonna. Oh, they're going for Lip. But like a bit sloppy, like follow up from Dragons here. I would have honestly preferred. Okay, let me see this again. So they kind of allow like Field to walk over them. And okay, where's Fate? And like Lip's not Lip should be Lip doesn't use EMP here, but like I mean like it was probably like if Fate had grapple, maybe they'd go for this, but Fate didn't have grapple. Or like, they were thinking, hey, like we could just go for them, like decide to rotate high ground. A bit I would prefer like Dragons to like play aggressive to counter dive this, honestly. Like definitely I think you could have been with Izayaki on a good angle and Fearless already Fearless like couldn't like go for Izayaki here, but they kill Li Jiangan. Fate's here. They could EMP and just like blow up Fearless, honestly, and that would win the fight, I think. Or like, maybe Lips was trying to like look for like a manual hack. But like Dragons really just allowed Field to fight 6v3 basically. And they win this fight. So a bit greedy with not using EMP there. I think it would have been good. But Fuel, they don't stabilize. Like, they got 2 kills, and they're going for Izayaki, who has a trans. And like, instead of, like, waiting for, like, Bubble to come back, instead of waiting for all those cooldowns to come back, I mean, he has Primal. You could argue that, but if they want to commit to that, on the other hand, if they want to commit to this, well, like Fearless, I get this is reasonable, but are they gonna aggressively try to clear? Like, Fearless dies, but like, what? What is Field doing? Like, why is Sparkle, like, trying to rotate back instead of, Like, when Fearless is primaling, okay, and, like, Doha's trying to get the pick, but, it's trying to get the kill, but instead I think he should be, like, flying up here and, maybe copy D.Va if, like, they already use, like, 2 ults. Oh my god. But like, at least Doha should like maybe fly up and try like just finish these players off. Like, you don't have Zen, so like this means that you're basically free to just like collapse on this without being punished. Because Fearless is just juggling the Zen and preventing him from contributing to the fight. So like, how isn't Void dying? Wait. And Void could use Diva Bomb, sure, but Void doesn't even have to use Diva Bomb here.
Focus my target.
They're going for Izayaki, but, you know, and all you're gonna do is force a trans, which they're perfectly happy to just pop, but you just threw this fight. I mean, they did get some card push, but all in all, this is just the drone fight from like Fuel. Well, like when Fearless was like all the way back in like the back line, going for Izayaki, like Fuel looked like they weren't applying any pressure at all. They weren't trying to like finish off like the players who are like stalling the cart on the flanks. So like Fuel now they have to reset again. Okay, wait, what is Doha doing?
Engaged.
Really?
Zenyatta.
Why? This is just Doha throwing. That's all I have to say. Why? Like you, okay, on one hand you almost killed him, Izayaki, sure, but if you die here, that's like GG's. There's no more, like, that's like GG's. And sure, maybe like Doha, like we have to go for like these aggressive shenanigans because like they're gonna have a shit ton of ults, but let me see. But like, but like, you know, this is such a low probability play that like it'd be better to like maybe just like, you know, maybe like hide somewhere, hide for the EMP, try to copy Diva, and like try to like punish it, or like, you know, maybe like if your team wants to make an aggressive play, then like wait for a team to make an aggressive play. Like don't just go in alone. And they're gonna get hard punished. Unbelievable. And like it looks like they're committing to a fight. Why didn't Doha go with Fearless? Or like at least like with like the Diva Bomb. With like some extra pressure. And like, you know, they drop from high ground because they realize they have to contest. But like, you know, they're just gonna get punished. And like, you know, the rally gives, without the damage, the rally just gives like armor for Dragons just literally W in, so really like questionable. Really questionable. Okay, so we're gonna see this. Fuel's ult economy is fucked, to say the least. They're switching to Lucio, which is probably better. Okay, let me see. So we have, you know, the standard setup. Usually Tracer Sombra is there together just to help Tracer stage against, like, anyone trying to mark Tracer, while Ball wants to create that other angle, create that crossfire, with the option to rotate the other flank if needed. So there's that. So we're gonna see. Okay, so like Fleta doesn't want to go into that room, and like Dragons, they're just gonna look to kite this aggression. Ideally, Fuel want like someone like behind, Fuel want someone behind, but that's really difficult if, you know, Dragons have control of this flank. In which case, that's why they're placing Fleta and Void are playing like over here, just so that no one can just sneak like past here and go into the back line. And if Sparkle tries to, you know, early TP, then like you can just like literally say nope, out of here. So fake attack. Hey, what's Fate doing? Okay, so Fate's trying to like counter dive, like as response to feels is engaged. That's fine. Okay, let me see like how this was executed though. Okay, Mike. Well, like that was gonna get DM. So Fate tries to like counter engage. I think Fate could actually get away with not counter engaging here, because this is like feel like really started this engage from a poor position. Like you can see, they're nanoing. They aren't using their speed boost really well. They aren't like speeding in to the fight, and like maybe like if they felt that if they did like capitalize on this, then you know they're just gonna get poked out. But they start the engage from a bad position, and like they have to commit jump, so like there's no escape, and like the backline isn't there to help. So like Fearless is gonna take unnecessary damage. Whereas you just use DM and then like even just let Fearless get a bit low, you pop they don't have like Ana, you just pop like the nano, boom, that would be better. So bad like micro here. You can see they're trying to punish Fate with this engage. Good peel from Void though. Okay, and Sparkle tries to TP past, but Fearless isn't there. But like actually, hey, let me take a look at this again. This is big. Something booped Fearless. Oh, Fate dead. That was actually big brain. Like, you know, this subtle boop made Fearless, like, just land over here. And means that Li Zhengan can just look to like, whip this. Like, whip Fearless. Which means that Fearless can't get into the back line at all. So like, eventually, even though Fate does get caught out, eventually, like, they'll be able to peel this off and then look to just counter and push and save Fate, so... But, like, they defended against this, which means that the Zen's alive, and all you really need in this comp is Zen alive. Zen will fuck over the enemy team. So, they kill Fate, even though they try to, like, even though, like, you know, they try to save him, but on the other hand, Zen's alive, and look what Zen can do. Like, Fearless's HP just went down like this. And they trade a bit, Li Zhengan actually dies. Eventually they do get an EMP. Even without EMP, they could look for like a pulse bomb. Hanbin's DM should be knackered. And yeah. So really bad like micro here. But like big play by Fate to like just boot Fearless. Hey, over here, like let's take a look at how like maybe Feel could have improved on this. So they're trying to rotate over here. Okay, well, like the main problem is that they're not speed boosting in. Like they could like go here, hold a bit of DM, and like just try to speed into the back line. Try to bait out whip shot, and once you bait out whip shot, you can then look to jump, or like you could even like you could even like push them back a bit, and then you just fake and speed this way. That's fine. Create that quote unquote pincer, so to speak. But actually speeding this way would probably take too long, and you would take damage from Void as well. And see? Good counter dive from Dragons. Even though Fate died, he did like what his team needed. Keep Izayaki alive. Like dying's not bad if it means that you're still playing towards what you need to win. Okay, now they switch to... Okay, let me see. So, like, Izayaki eventually dies. Okay, Feel they are down like their support, so like do they Do they really try to fight this, or do they just, like, get out of this fight? Well, like, dragons are also still, like, just soft regrouping, so if I were feel like I'd probably just, like, soft reset. Like, if you die on cart, the problem is, like, if you die on cart, I mean, sure, you're forcing them to use ultimates, but, like, eventually, like, they're just gonna, like, set up angles all around. They're just gonna, like, push their backline up to, like, over here and just do a lot. Okay, so you die on cart, sure. That's gonna... It's really staggering at this point. Like, if they fully regrouped... I mean... Like, if they regrouped, then Sparkle could have, like, stayed alive, and Sparkle could have, like, followed up in this EMP pretty nicely. But they don't. All they need to do is pop a defensive ult, and boom. And why didn't they EMP bomb? Why didn't they just cleanly EMP bomb? I don't know. And they're just staggering their ults here. Not really good. Like, the reason you regroup is so you don't... Like, in these situations, you don't want to, like, just die on cart like that. Because, like, you know, you're gonna have to be forced to touch the cart with less than 6 players. When you could have just give away, like, a bit of cart progress, which really doesn't matter in the end because, you know, the alternative is just losing the round, and, you know, at least you get to fight the last fight of 6, so... I don't know. On the other hand, like, the ball comp's really good at catching those staggers. But, you know, they have so much mobility with that comp that they could just escape the pincer. Oh no. Depends on, like, the cooldowns, but I'm not even gonna look to bot it. I'm not gonna bother to look. That was, like, really scuffed team fight management from Fuel there. Okay, so Fuel's gonna run, like, Sombra Genji. They're looking for, like, the ults. They're acknowledging that it's hard to beat this team in the neutral, so they say, hey, we're just gonna, like, Nano Blade, and that's gonna be pretty devastating if you don't have a response. But they do. They have, like, Trans, they have EMP. Or even, like, Emmanuel hack from left. And, okay, so over here, we see the standard setup again. Like, the standard Ball Tracer Sombra comp setup. You usually have, Sombra Tracer, you're gonna have Ball, like, on another angle, and then you just have, like, you know, the back line in between these. And, well, usually Void will take an angle, usually with the Ball. If you take an angle with, like, because Ball's gonna be, like, the easiest target, you do want to be able to peel for, like, Ball. And, like, Tracer and Sombra, they're squishier, but they're also more mobile, and they can just escape. So, like, you kind of want your... And not to mention that, like, your Ball is going to, like, put pressure on, like, your break if he takes too much damage. So you kind of want, like, to use a bit of DM if needed to, like, absorb bursts of damage for your Ball. So that's why the standard setup is to have Ball D.Va on one side and Tracer Sombra. And then, like, you have your Brig Zen. And D.Va's gonna stand, like, in between, like, these two just to peel or pressure if needed. Like, if they want to go in or they want to, like, protect their backline. So, actually, they do get a kill on Fielder, like, really early. And, like, this is not a farming phase. Like, Fielder's not really looking for, like, a good dive, otherwise they'd just be trying, like, going on high ground instantly. They're just really looking to push the cart. They actually kill Izayaki. Okay. Let me see what happened. Over here... Okay, let me see. Okay, so now, like, they look to peel for Izayaki, but... Okay, let me see. Where the Brig pack? So Izayaki gets double packed here. Like, right here, they get a kill on Fielder. It was cheeky, but, like, Dragons really want to be playing the lift, so I think they should have backed up, like, sooner. They want to, like, fight the choke fight if possible. And this comp, and even though, like, there aren't, like, many good flanks at the choke itself, I mean, like, at the very least, like, if you die here, then, you know, they're just gonna have really good respawns compared to you, so, like, Izyaki's gonna come back really slowly. So over here, Fiora are just gonna be like, hey, we're gonna look to finish this fight. Do they really want to go for Fate like that? So Fate gets hacked. They're trying to focus Fate, and he actually dies, so... Right here, I think Fate just got baited into, like, engaging here. There isn't really a good reason to engage, because you do coaching right, so how do I receive it? Well, contact me on Discord. I'll like write it into the YouTube chat. There's my Discord. You can add me. I'll accept, and we'll talk. So over here, like Fate engages. There isn't a good reason. As you can see, Fled and Lip are still over here. If you know, Fearless decides to like dive this, then like, look where Sparkle and Doha are. They aren't a threat, so you don't need to like counter dive right now. You can just like say, hey, Fearless, you know, Fearless, free ult charge for her Zen, while Fate just maintains his position and tries to like mark, like, maybe if Genji decides to take this angle and farm, you can just punch him out of this angle. Fleta's here to do it. So over here, that was a pretty four-headed engage from Fate. Fate dies. And eventually they're gonna make it to the cart. And like Fiora are trying to finish this fight, they're pushing up a bit. But because they have to have someone on cart, it's not going to be that good. Okay, let me see. Well, how can they Steel almost got it in the bag. Okay, let's see. So wait, why aren't they waiting 2 seconds for the speed boost and then like jumping behind? There's no pincer here. Weird. They don't. It shows that Field doesn't know how to use Lucio in these like rush style comps. Like this comp will effectively play like a rush comp because like with this comp you kind of lack the elements of a dive comp against this matchup because you know if you try to like spread apart and take map control, you're just gonna get punted back by Ball, Tracer, and Sombra and Zen to an extent because of Discord. So you kind of have to play more clumped together, and like your goal is really just like rotate across like closed spaces, try to like go for their backline. They punish Lip though. I mean, like they do they do are able to punish that using the engage, but Sparkle dies somehow. How does Sparkle die? Oh, Sparkle used dash here. Shows that, but you can see there's no pincer. There's just no pincer. Like where's where's like the angles? Like other than Hanbin taking this angle, maybe Sparkle's taking a slight angle, but you remember like contrast that to what Dragons did on the first point. Look at what Fiora are doing. They're just running it down main. Running it down main. Why are there no field players here? And the reason is because they're not using speed boosts. Like you could have Jax say speed in Sparkle like to a flank, and Sparkle could just dash in from behind, or like Sparkle could like go over here, like dash to here and just right click, boom, dead. So Like, they're not using Lucio as, like, a mid-fight staging tool. That's what you use it for, mid-fight staging. That's a specialty. In this comp, at least.
I need healing.
Okay. So now, as you can see, we're gonna see, like, that rotation. They're gonna try to, like, rotate onto the backline with the Lucio. Sparkle, they're trying to fight this 5v6, but like they know they don't really have like ideally you would have like a Genji alive, so Genji could look to say, hey, Genji could look to like punish try to punish like the dragons as tanks while like Fearless is trying to like zap their squishies, or like you're going to you know, maybe try to set up Sparkle like over here, and then you just nano. They'll be more focused on peeling than trying to peel off Sparkle, and then you can have Sparkle go in from behind, and that would be good as well. That'd be the easiest way. But they know they have like Rally. They know they don't have like DPS. Look at where Doha is. Doha's not behind. Doha should be like over here. It's not gonna work. Like, sure, they zone off the backline temporarily, but this comp is just so good at surviving, like, without heals. Like, all they need is Brig. That's why they're running Brig's End. They don't need, like, those burst heals. And sure, they almost punished Void, but Void has a D.Va Bomb, and that's not something you're going to trade for a Nano. Especially when you have to use your cooldowns as well to punish Fate. Like, well, okay, speaking of cooldowns, let's take a look at what cooldowns Fuel use. No Bubble, almost no DM. Like, no Ana cooldowns because, like, you know, Dragons went for that counter engage. So they did use Dragons that use cooldowns of their own, but like this is like a drop in the bucket compared to like this much more cooldown oriented comp. Like these cooldowns are just gonna come back. This isn't. So like feel they just rush that fight. And like this allows Dragons to just push in and counter engage. Okay, that being said, Dragons did not get what they want from this. So, I mean, killing Doha is big. They got the EMP. Lip was expecting... Oh, that boop. Oh, unfortunate. But they do kill Doha, and that's good. He has EMP. So, that was still a good EMP. That being said, they have the rally. Fate... What they want to ideally do now is try to, like, just get behind them. Like, I think with the armor, Fledikov just wasted blinks and went in more, like, harder. Like, Fledikov just, like, 3, 2, 1, blink, blink, boom. Goodbye, Fielder. Or, okay, let me see. Or Void had D.Va Bomb, so maybe he could have just inted in. And then, like, you know, with the D.Va Bomb would slow players down, buy you time to just push in and engage. So, Dragons, they should have committed harder to this. They should have, like, just used cooldown. Like, this team is so weak that they can't punish you for it. And you have 250 HP on your flanker. So, you just literally just int in, like, pincer, boom, dead. Okay, well, okay, let me see where Fleta started. So we're trying to EMP. They were expecting, like, EMP to catch everyone, so... But didn't happen. Okay, let me see... Let me see why, like, they kind of gave their positions away. So over here... Fate commits Pile Drive. Sure. Like, Fate does get behind. Okay, let me see that again. How did they like deal with this fight? Why didn't Dragons like just kill all of them? Like it was partly because of the failed like EMP attempt. It wasn't failed because it got Doha, but it could have been fatter. But you can see they successfully peeled off like the nano engage. Um, I certainly I don't think Fate had to pop Pile Drive there. I think Fate could have just like booped them, and then like maybe try to do a double swing. So as you can see, Fate could have like stopped stop the grapple, just grapple the other way, and try like shoot them from this angle, draw a bit of attention, and like if you'll decide to just keep going for this, well, you just rally. You have like Void already peeling this off, and on the other hand, like this is like wow, look at what they're fighting with. They're fighting with like 5. So you don't need to worry. You just like focus on like the eventual counter engage. You focus more strongly into punishing their dive because it's truly shit. So sorry. But but I would prefer if like Fate like set up deeper. And also like Fleta. Fleta's like behind. And okay, let's look at where Dragon's backline is. So over here, I think with the rally they could have, I think they should have pushed up more decisively as well. But like a lot of the decisions they're making because they're expecting a fat EMP. Like they're rotating here, like trying to chase them instead of like trying to like pincer them more, is because like they expect an EMP. So that was excusable. But I was expecting, hey, why isn't Li Zhengong like pushing this like harder with rally, and then like you could establish your Zen over here, and that would catch them up better. But like as you can see now, and also like because Fleta, well, I mean Li Zhengong wasn't here, it means Fleta can receive a pack, so he had to like stall over here instead of being able to like stage a bit deeper, which could have made a difference. Could have. On the other hand, like Field still have a functioning Lucio, so they get Fearless though. Sorry for and like they do eventually finish the fight. They do eventually chase down Feel, so good from Dragons for committing. I'm like Dragons already did this fight well. I'm just seeing like whether they could have done it even better. Like Dragons are at that point where I'm not concerned if they're making the right play. I'm concerned about whether they're making the best possible play. But like in any case, sometimes a good play is enough. Perfection is the enemy of good. So we have to consider and keep that in mind. Alright, so a bit foreheaded. He was just trying to like, get some cleave damage, so to speak, on the rotation. They pop the EMP, it gets 3. Hey, wait. How did... Yeah, let's see where Dragons were positioning. So they pop the EMP. Dragons are positioning, like, really far forwards. They have EMP, so... I kind of want Dragons to position, like, here. Because, like, if you position here, then there's gonna be a distance that, like, Feel have to cover before... They can't just rotate onto your backline with Lucio that easily. Like, they could try, like, push through choke, rotate over here, but, like, if you position around the center circle, like this statue thing, then you can at least, like, have kiting options, but they're positioning really far forward, which is concerning because Feel have EMP. This is awfully close. And like Izayaki isn't even trying to hide to like Transbot. As you can see, just easy cleanup there. And like the counter dive doesn't really, because like Fate already used Pile Drive like for that. I'm not sure how much Pile Drive would have mattered. I think I think Fate was trying to go for more too fancy of like a roll through here. Maybe Fate should have just went here and rolled like this way. Well, like this is too close. They've staged way too close, given like the amount of ultimate power that Fiol have. They also have Blade as well. Like if you could position back and try to like get a Discord on like someone who's out of position, then that would be a pretty good way to end the fight, especially without a break. So we're gonna see. So over here, let's take a look at how Dragon set up for the retake. They want to ideally play slow, farm EMP, and counter dive. Okay, but Fate's not fully in position. You can see they're looking to play slow, so we're gonna see them try to pop. They're gonna pop trans, and they're going to They should be pop if they want to play slow. They might pop a Diva Bomb if needed, but Dragons like feel they want to commit to this because they don't want like the EMP. The EMP will just end the fight. Or Jexay can just hide, honestly. So they're going for the Nano Blade. This is a bit too early to peek out.
60 seconds. Area denied.
Like Lip died with EMP. I think definitely as I don't think Dragon should have pushed out there because you could stay here. One person will have to be on cart. So like they can't help if Field decide to take the fight over here. Not to mention that like you can try to like catch the dive a bit better with like a bit more cover. You can take angles around like these doors. That's good, but you're pushing here. That's a lot of cleave damage for Fearless. A lot of like potential for this blade. A lot of things can happen if you're like just pushing through. Like this, for example. So like, okay, what happened to Lip? Where did Lip place Translocator? Oh. So Lip got 90-60 EMP. Let's actually take a look. Gets a good brick pack from Li Zhenggan. That might be why like Li Zhenggan's pushing this actually. Gotta see this. So we're gonna the top trans. I think he should be trying to actually double pack Lip, and then like that would transition pretty nicely to an EMP. It would allow Lip to stay in the fight for longer. And he could still like give one pack to Izayaki there. And then like that meant that Lip could have potentially EMP'd. But like they weren't able to pull up the EMP, you'll just have such a big ult advantage. That's basically what Dragons had a chance there. They even popped the Diva Bomb to try like buy more time, but well, it was after. Void should not have popped this, I think. Like in any case, like you could just pop Diva Bomb like early on just to allow Lip to farm. But like the fact that I'm spending like so much time on this means that like it's really hard to plan out in real time, so I can't really blame them. It's hard to like perfectly try like play slow, and farm EMP installed to fight.
My ultimate is ready.
And so they have EMP now. Fiol have used all their ults. That's good for Dragons. Huh? Nice EMP. What was that? What was that EMP? It's the Lip special. Like, Lip's obviously best Sombra, like, base probably of all time, but on the other hand, like, that's his Achilles heel. Like, sometimes he gets these, like, laughable EMPs.
My ultimate is ready.
So, we're gonna... Yeah. Like, they don't have ultimates. You're not really concerned about, like, them just out-tempoing you, so you have the time to just... You don't have to think, hey, tempo EMP. Like, the only thing you should be concerned about is... Well, they are 82 to EMP. That could be, but even then, it's gonna be hard to set up, honestly, so... You just like, play, like, over here-ish, or you could even just play high ground, maybe. You could try, like, wait until Fade and Flood are set up here, and then you could just... Boom. So now, you're going to try to take high ground. Well, like, you can't really take control of high ground if you don't have your backline up there, but... Teams nowadays, they won't try to take high ground, like, early on, because the rotation to high ground is just way too, like, painful. So, teams will just try to, like, push the cart, farm a bit, same thing on Dorado first, play under here. And just try to, like, maybe bait the enemy team into bad engage, so... That type of thing. So we have EMP bomb. Gets lit. Okay, let's see where dragons were positioning. How did their backline, like, drop? So, Izayaki, this is really aggressive. Like, over here, by dropping instead of, like, trying to, like, stall the card a bit as much as possible and just try to, like, poke out fuel, basically. By doing this, they're expecting, hey, we're gonna get a kill. We're gonna get a kill, like, before Trans runs out as a free EMP for you, so that's bold. And, like, there is a point for, like... Okay, let me see. But, like, Fate has used all of his cooldowns, so there's that. Fleta is... There's no micro missiles, minor thing, but kind of matters. You do have, like, Rally as well, so you could try, like, use, like, these defensive ults to buy time, but... They don't... But, like, they should just play slow here, honestly. Just try to, like, absorb the pressure, because Fuel aren't in a great position. You don't have to touch the cart yet. You can absolutely just get the cart pushed up to here, you just poke them out as much as possible first, and then, like, if they try to EMP you on high ground, well, like, you can just put your Zen, like, somewhere really back and like, make it as hard as possible to get a good EMP. Like, on the other, like, the thing is, they won't be able to get their Ana Lucio on high ground unless they rotate, so... Like, this is an okay idea. They want to, like, get kills before, like... They want to get kills before, like, the EMP happens, but... They could have certainly just played slow. Feel we're not in a good position to engage. Like, if like, Briggs then just positioned here, it would be fine. Like, imagine if Doha, and then, like, you could have, like, Void just try to, like, compulsively spy check. It would make it really hard for Doha to EMP. Like, Doha would probably have to, like, resort EMPing the tanks, which means that you could, like, try to, like, give packs. Even if they die, like, the amount of poke you'd be doing would be pretty good. So, like, okay idea from Dragons, but without the necessary, like, cooldowns, they aren't able to capitalize. And they use both Brigands and ult for it. That being said, let's look at how Heal threw this fight. Oh. So... Over here, they're trying to chase dagger kills, but... Really? I mean, like, it's a reasonable idea, but you still haven't cleared the flanks yet. Nor do you have, like, a D.Va up there. You don't have, like, D.Va up there to peel. So, like, to at least, like, handle that map control until, like, you get your shit done over here. It was just like a necessary stagger. They do get some staggers, but Sparkle's dead and he has a blade. And they're gonna respawn. Let's see what Fate was doing here. Fate was trying to that ball tech, but okay. Like keep taking the high ground, but be good, but this is just too close for comfort, especially without your team supporting.
Initiating.
So, feel like they have Primal, they can look to Blade. You can see when they get the backline on high ground. That's good. Okay, let's take a look at this engage. So, we have,
Area denied.
so let's see how Dragons take this fight. I'm actually surprised to see, like, Dragons, like, rotate this aggressively. Like, I was expecting them to, like, rotate this way, which would be safer, and like, you know, try to just, like, peel off the aggression until, like, you have, like, EMP, and then you can look to just... I mean, like, they probably, like, were so confident that Lip was able to farm EMP and just prevent this ult combo that, like, they just rotated this way. But that being said, maybe, like, you know, hold off a bit. Maybe don't, like, complete the rotation until Lip has EMP, and then you rotate into the fight. Like, look at where... Oh, this is ballsy. That's all I have to say. And Fate's going for, like, the counter dive. Oh, but how does Fielder die?
Area
Like,
denied.
you have to have someone taking care of the flanks as well. Like, Fielder could still win this backline trade, so... I mean, Hanbin tried to peel that, so... But... see why they didn't win this backline trade. Like, they killed 2 for, like, your flex support, sure, that's fine. That's a fine trade, actually. Like, given that, like, Dragons just, like, threw with that rotation, that was way too aggressive, honestly. Like, they... like, maybe don't rotate here, because it would make it hard to follow up on the EMP to some extent. But you could at least, like, let Lip farm a bit, and then, like, when Lip has EMP, then Lip could try to throw the Translocator, just EMP this whole team. They could either, like, just W into them, or, like, you just peel off their engage easier because their backline EMP, and, like, you would win the backline trade, but they lost the backline trade. They actually go for the EMP. Interesting. Where's Sparkle? Oh. Did he just dash into the mine? Oh my god. Feel really needs to learn how to stabilize. Like they...
I have the upper hand this time.
Well, like, couldn't Fearless just wait a couple seconds and then he could pop Bubble? How much did he had on his Bubble cooldown? Like, you're not really under, like, too much pressure. Their backlines, I mean, like, they're probably gonna poke you out a bit hard if you try to, like... But, like, you know, maybe, like, let Jexay heal a bit of that damage. Instead of, like, just going in. Their backline's dead. You could absolutely farm the beat and finish this fight. Like, Field don't know how to play slow. Okay, they finally farmed the beat. They punished Fate, but Sparkle's dead. And they kill Void. Sure. Okay. Fearless. Okay, let me see. Like they beat, sure. Means they can kind of continue. The jump is unfortunate. And it's not a clean fight by any means. And Dragon's just gonna come back.
60 seconds remaining.
Why? Please. Okay, final fight. They're rotating this way because they don't want to like take spam from this high ground. Sure. And the card's over here, so sure as well. Okay, let's see Dragon's setup here. Am I a big fan of this? So we're gonna have like Fate of getting this angle. I would want to see like someone over here ideally, like maybe even a bit deeper. Sure, that'd be fine. Maybe like Lips, like playing a more shallow angle. I don't think Lip has to play directly on the cart. Lip could absolutely just play over here, and then you could just have like Fleta like somewhere over here. And like if they try like go for you, well, like you just run away, sure, or you could just receive some brig packs and then like try to fight that if they commit harder. Not a big fan of that position from Lip though.
Apagando las luces.
30 seconds remaining.
And
30 seconds remaining.
Apagando las
a
luces.
pretty textbook dive here.
30 seconds remaining.
Wait, how did Sparkle die?
30 seconds remaining.
And Fate looks to counter dive this.
30
Did
seconds.
we really have Sparkle like trying to 1v2?
Excellent fight.
Or like, okay, well, like I've been busy peeling off someone here, so can Sparkle just wait for a couple seconds? I don't know. Or like maybe at least wait for Fearless to come in before trying to 1v2 Briggs them. Like it shouldn't be like that much of a trade. And dragons just have spawns again. Like you can't have like you need to protect your DPS at all costs and your main tank. Those are the two most important players. Like no, I mean like your non-somber DPS and Fearless. Otherwise, like nope, you're not gonna win. You don't have damage. Like it should not be that dirty. Like this fight should not be as dirty as it is. And Jexay? How did Jexay die? Oh, it was a counter dive. Like once you get a kill, you consolidate, you clear the angles first, and then you go in. You don't just W in like mess. Like you stabilize, you clear the flanks that like you got from killing the DPS, like they can't contest these flanks anymore, and then you keep going. Like, let's take a look at how Jexay could have totally survived.
Get patched up.
Like over here, we saw Fleta. Like they killed Lip. Fleta's like good as dead with the EMP. Like you're in the EMP, like
Apagando las luces.
Like Jexay is like in a vulnerable position. Like you could have just like waited here, and then like he's in after the EMP.
30 seconds.
You don't need to die. There's no time pressure. Like they already lost the DPS. You don't need to like int to win the fight. And now we're gonna see Okay, and now Briggs then got positioned back because
Apagando las luces.
let me see. Briggs then got positioned back because they want to play slow for EMP. Eventually, once they do have EMP, they're going to push in and collapse and brawl. And yeah. And Fleta went free here because he won't have time to set up flank, so... And he just wants to get, like, more immediate value because he knows the dive's going to be coming soon. That's why. Anyway, hope that was helpful, and peace out.